Hello everyone, we are Robin and Graham. In case you missed our last video, I am currently doing a road trip through the Canadian Rocky Mountains with some friends. In this vlog, we explore Jasper National Park, known for its abundant wildlife and natural beauty. Hope you enjoy! So in this video, we are exploring Jasper National Park, and we've been staying right in the town of Jasper at the High Jasper Hostel. Now we thought before we would take you on all of the trails that we're going to see, we would start by showing you where we've been staying. So this hostel is definitely one of the most expensive hostels I've ever stayed at. Each bed in this 4-bed female dorm costs us 85 Canadian dollars, so definitely a steeper price, but we are just outside of the heart of the town, so it's a really good location. And this hostel is massive. Right when you come in the doors, there's a huge lobby with 24-hour reception. There's a cute little cafe that has an exchange your books or a mini library. Lots of food and drink options. We also have a big common area with lots of table spots. There's games, there's co-working stations. There's also a little movie theater room. There's also a fire pit outside. Now it's been kind of raining and dreary, so that hasn't really been used yet, but hopefully maybe later on. Everything is just really nice and clean and organized. There's a board where all the staff have written down their recommendations of cafes and restaurants, and especially hiking trails. So Janine and I have chosen a couple that we want to do. We have 2 full days here, so we're gonna get going. This trail starts really close to Jasper, the town of Jasper, so you can literally just walk from there. So the one that we're at is called the Great Divide Trail. It's also called the Athabasca River Loop, and it's supposed to be beautiful. It's a moderate hike. It's about 15 kilometers, but some of it is closed, so we'll see what we can see today. There's lots of people out on bikes, lots of people walking, so I think it's going to be a really beautiful hike, especially with, I mean, the trailhead looks like this. The river is massive, everything is green. It was a super cute bridge to get across, so I think we're gonna have a really nice time. So we're gonna go see what we can find. So unfortunately, the nice path that goes right along the river, like the whole time, is closed because that's where elks are having their babies, so we can't go. So we've been detoured to this more easy trail that takes us along the other side of all the lakes and by the golf courses and stuff. So it's just a paved trail, but I think we're gonna take this around, then get back on the moderate trail that takes us by the river. But it's just so peaceful and so beautiful. We're like one of the only peoples out and about right now, so we hear all the birds chirping, and it's been a really nice day so far. And honestly, the weather is definitely cooperating with us. It's a little bit chillier, but it's nice because then we're not sweaty, but it's not raining. So far this hike has been really good, and we've just been stopping to read all of the informational signs, learn more about this area and everything like that. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. Okay, so we're now at the far end of our hike. So we started up here somewhere, and we've done our first lake. We saw all of these lakes. We took a little break at these 2 lakes because they were absolutely beautiful, but now we're about to cross the river and head back to Jasper. I'm not gonna lie, we're losing a little bit of steam on this second half. We thought we saw a sign that we were like 4 kilometers away or something like that, and we're like, perfect, we should be there in no time. But each kilometer is literally taking so long. It feels like we're walking so much farther. But we had a little bit of breakfast this morning at maybe like 10-ish, I would say, and it is currently 2 p.m. and I was supposed to pack snacks and I forgot to pack snacks, so all we have is water. And we just put into our Google Maps our hostel and we're still like an hour away, so it's just like a little bit hard to keep ourselves motivated. But I think we're just both thinking of what we're gonna make for lunch and how it's gonna be so good, because the views on this side are maybe like a little bit less than the other side because we're right by the highway. You can hear the train behind me, but it's still pretty beautiful. But I think we're both excited to finally get to the town, get our groceries, walk through it, and go to our hostel. So our next stop, and probably one of our last stops of today, is Pyramid Lake. It was only like a maybe 10-minute drive from the Jasper town, but this is our view and the sun has come out, so we're so excited about that. It looks like there's some kind of lodge here, so we're just gonna kind of walk around, see what there is. Maybe there's a shorter hiking trail to take us to a viewpoint. We don't really know, but we're just gonna enjoy the scenery while the sun is still up. I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind. The clouds are coming in and the wind is picking up, so we're gonna head out here soon. But this, like, by far, I think it's called Pyramid Mountain, is like by far my favorite mountain range in Jasper. I do believe it's something that it's known for, but just like the contrast of, like, you can kind of see hints of red on the pyramid, and the contrast between like the dark green and the bright, vibrant lime green of the trees is just, it's so cool. Janine and I can't stop talking about it. But as you can kind of tell, the weather is taking a turn for the worst. So I think we're gonna head back to the hostel, cook ourselves some nice dinner, see if we can maybe make a couple friends, and I will see you guys tomorrow at our next hike. Good morning, everyone. So it is a bright, sunny day. It honestly is like the perfect weather conditions. We've just driven about 20 minutes outside of Jasper to the trailhead of the Valley of the Five Lakes. It was really highly recommended by our hostel, so that's where we've come today. We are obviously not the only people that have had the same idea, because we just circled the parking lot for at least 10 minutes and finally pulled into a super teeny tiny spot. I know it looks like we have a lot of space, but I did crawl out the trunk to actually get out. But anyways, this should be about a 2.5 hour hike, and yeah, we're gonna get started. We just passed the first, well, I guess technically the fifth. We're starting backwards. We started with the difficult part first to get easier at the end, but it was stunning. It was so beautiful. It's like a blue-green type of water. This trail is definitely touristy. We're passing a lot of people. Yesterday we literally saw no one. Today we see a lot of tourists, but I mean, I can tell why it's popular. It's just a really, really beautiful hike so far. But yeah, we're gonna continue on to the fourth lake now. We have definitely been taking our time around all of the lakes. There is a lot of tourists, but we're finding like little branches to go and view the lakes at where we're the only ones. And we've just made it to the first lake, so the last one of this hike, although we are only at the end of it and it is a really long lake. So now we have to decide if we want to go all the way around or if we want to start cutting back to the parking lot and trying another hike. But it's so beautiful, so peaceful. We found a little spot here by the water, so I think we're just gonna sit and enjoy. We're gonna snack on our Cliff Bar, have some water, and decide what we want to do next. Okay, so that hike turned into a little bit of a longer stretch than we thought it was going to be. So originally the path was supposed to take us like 2.5 hours, but we got to kind of like a fork in the road and we went one way when we were supposed to go the other. And our friends from the hostel met up with us, so that's why you didn't see a lot of clips. But honestly, I'm so glad we took that wrong turn. That was probably the most beautiful part of the hike. It was like pretty much just us. We saw maybe like a couple other people, but yeah, it was just absolutely lovely. And now we're all going to Tim Hortons, and then we're gonna go back and make some lunch at the hostel. So we will see you guys at the next hike. So we've come to our last and our final hike here in Jasper National Park. We are at Maligne Canyon, I believe is what it's called. And on the way, I don't think we got it on video, but we saw a moose across the road. So with the two people I'm with, Janine, and then another person, Beatrice from our hostel, she's also from Germany, they were just ecstatic. It was super cool. Everyone was like parked on the side of the road. Kind of dangerous, but we watched from afar, and yeah, it was really cool. And we've heard that that road that we just drove on to get to here is really known for like seeing wildlife and stuff, like lots of bears, lots of moose, lots of elk, all of that. So it's very popular to ride. But anyways, I think we have just about maybe like a 1 hour hike, and it's in a loop, and it should take us across a couple bridges, give us nice views of the canyon and the gorges. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice way to kind of wrap up our time here in Jasper. I thought I'd give you guys a little update now as we're kind of, I think, halfway through, more than halfway through this hike. There is way less people. That could also be because it's almost 7 o'clock, so I feel like lots of people are having supper right now, but it's really nice and peaceful because there's not a lot of tourists. It's a really easy walk. There's a couple parts that are maybe like a little bit of a slippery walk, but honestly super manageable. Really gorgeous view of the canyon. There's tons of waterfalls and lots of really great lookout points. So I'm really glad that we also made the time to do this hike because we were feeling kind of tired, but I'm glad we pushed ourselves and I'm glad we're here. So we are just finishing up the hike. It took us just about an hour. You can definitely do it in less. We like to take our time. Honestly, this hike was beautiful. You hiked along the gorge for half of it, and then you were kind of in the trees for the other half. So it was a really good balance. All the hikes we have done have been really quite easy terrain. Some parts have been more difficult, but very, very doable if you wanted to come and do it yourself. But anyways, the girls are waiting for me, so I will update you on all of my thoughts of Jasper back at the hostel. All right, and that brings us to the end of our time here in Jasper. Honestly, we had 2 full days and we could definitely be staying here longer. We just want to see a couple more things on our trip before it's over, so we are leaving, but it is such a nice kind of, it's very touristy, but it's still quiet and peaceful. Like lots of the tourists that come here are here to be outside, be in nature, see the waterfalls, go on the hikes, see the wildlife, and that's exactly what we did in Jasper, and we absolutely loved it. Sorry if this video felt a little sporadic and random, but we were staying at a hostel and honestly we met so many lovely people, so it was just really nice to kind of have that community feeling, especially in my home country, and I'm just glad that everyone's enjoying their time here. But honestly, if you love wildlife and you love nature, Jasper is like a must see. It has been so beautiful. But anyways, we are already all packed up and Janine is waiting for me to get going on the next part of our adventure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! What is this? Valley of the Five Hikes? No, sorry.
Five Lakes. Valley of the Five
Lakes. Valley of the Five Lakes. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I can't remember. Come to the... There's a wasp.